Well, I'm sitting here waiting to go drive. I'm fancy like and thought I would try and finish my videos off. Talking about the 3-year-olds. Talking about the 3-year-olds, how they've done this week, where they're going, where they're at. Admiral Dio, we all know he's not going to be ready till end of August, September sometime, but Harry likes what he sees so far. He probably won't even start turning him for another 3-4 weeks. Arson was huge. Ate supper. Arson was huge as last start. A winner 150 and won by nose. Got a week off, 8 days off. We're going to take him down to Oak Grove. On what day? Tuesday afternoon, I think. Tuesday afternoon. What else we got going on here? Blanton's Blue will race next week. Megan has him in New York. I just thought that was probably the best place to put him. Am I completely sold on it? No, but she'll let me know after her first start with him what she thinks of him and whether he can do down there. We get the Poconos, Yonkers, Philadelphia, those types of places where we might be able to race him. Monticello, I suppose, not the Meadowlands. So we'll see how that plays out this week with Blanton's Blue. Born to Dance is racing tonight. My last drive of the night is Born to Dance. Dominion. Still haven't caught up to Harry in regards to Dominion. I wasn't very enthusiastic about his first trip around Grand River Raceway. He doesn't seem to be fast enough to race at Mohawk just yet. Kind of puts us in a bit of a pickle, doesn't it? We'll have to see. I want to see what Harry says about this horse, and then we'll decide where we're going from here. Don't talk about Bruno racing tomorrow at Georgian. I'm hopeful for Bruno tomorrow. Drebin raced great on Thursday. Had a nice chat with one of my partners, Jim, on the horse. He said, what about bringing him somewhere? I said, well, get him on a smaller track. He's probably going to hit himself. What in the hell? I got some strawberries in them. Sticky. I just don't think moving him to Mohawk will serve anybody at this point. I think if my memory serves me, the only thing I have on my radar for him right now is maybe the C division of the Beal. If he can put a couple of dollars on his card and maybe fit in there, worst case, I think we get our money back. But that's where I'm pointing Drebin right now. I like what I see from him. I like his maturity. He's growing up. He's trotting good. James is able to use him, take him off the gate and use him effectively. Let him grow up. Let him mature. That's why we have him, and I'm very, very happy with Drebin. Flashfly, her SAA test did come back with a little sickness, mild sickness, a lot of mucus, mild sickness, elevated GGT. I think we're probably going to turn her out. I know that. So Tuesday we have Jacob bringing Arson back to the track so he can ship to Kentucky. I think at that point we'll maybe give Flashfly a couple of weeks in the field just to recuperate. And there's nothing we can do about allergy season. It's not going to be over in 2 weeks. But we'll see what 2 weeks in the field allows her to do. George of the Jungle is back in a Mohawk this week. I like what I've seen from George of the Jungle. He continues to grow up. Same place Drebin is. The maiden's going to go in 54, 55, 56. Hopefully, we'll catch a soft division here and there and let these horses grow up the way they should and get George in a comfortable place. Obviously, the grassroots were a little tough. I like Maiden, Nominers of 2, even Prospect Series for him, but not overly enthusiastic about running him up and down the roads looking for. I know that Dominic said he's going to race him, and then if he shows a little more blood in his scope, hopefully he doesn't, but if he does, we can put him on Lasix for the next grassroots. I'm not even super enthusiastic about the grassroots at this point. Remember, I don't really care about the grassroots. Grassroots are great if you have one of the 4 or 5 best horses, but if you're just going to run all over the countryside paying to get your face beat in, it just doesn't make much sense to me. And that's a salty division. All those horses are good horses, and the horses can't do in there are pretty decent horses too. Let George of the Jungle grow up in his own time. Great Bet is also condition claimer for him Sunday night at Georgian. I think that is very fair, all things considered. We'll see how he races in that class on Sunday evening. Gypsy Hill, flat the other night. Admittedly flat. We did just draw his blood. Dr. Latessa was sick as a dog the last 2 days. I feel bad for him. He's a workhorse too. He goes all day, every day. So hopefully he gets better soon He'll be sorely missed at the barn, but Gypsy Hill didn't get his blood run when I thought he did. They ran it today. We'll have it back tomorrow, hopefully, and we'll know Gypsy Hill, Irresistible Sun, and Sunset Acres Girl, how their bloods were. But by the way, Sunset Acres Girl trained today, I can tell you her blood's probably just fine. Hallie in the Clouds. She'll be in to go this week sometime, or next week sometime. Again, all these horses, just on the cusp, right? I know it's frustrating even for James because he wants them to be better horses, but Hallie the Clouds trotted 56, 57, I think, a couple of times. I like what I see from the filly, and she's going to get better. But again, wanting her to be better now is not going to cut it. It's not how it works. Just let them mature. They don't have to be grassroots champions to make good money. They're still going to race at Mohawk. No. If you think that you're going to eat your supper and then hoe into chips,
I ate all my supper.
that's a herd no.
But I ate all my supper.
Good. Not going to happen. I'm Fancy Like racing tonight. She's been doing good things. Again, there's a horse that's not a grassroots horse. She's going to make good money this year. Racing, she got, 7, 8 wins under her belt now, I believe, or maybe more. She's been doing good things this year, but she's not good enough to race in the Buckeye, to be honest. We'll race, same as Born to Dance. He's in it tonight because it's in our backyard. But we're not running them all over the countryside chasing down the Buckeye division. That's a little different. There's a Buckeye Consolation this year, obviously. So it's a little bit different here in Ohio, but not super enthusiastic about bouncing him all over the world trying to run down horses that are faster than him. And he's not a walkover tonight. He's like 4th favorite or something tonight. He's got some work to do. Insider trading, she's been bred. She's been bred to Chimpanzee. Hopefully she catches. If she doesn't, she gets a month off. Maybe worse things. We'll see. We'll see what comes of the last 2 breedings. I think she gets 2. Insider trading does. See if she gets them folded Chimpanzee. We'll see. Don't know. Irresistible Sun raced good the other night. Got to switch those shoes around though. Get those flip-flops off and switch to a 9/16. We are going to do that. Lonely Lakewood, 3rd the other day. Trotted 56 in a piece. Let's see how he looks. 3rd start in a row now. We're on a rotation. See how he looks this week. Lover's Play will race next week in the Meadows. She's been doing good things. Mel Gibson will not. Unfortunately, he had a little injury show up after his last race, so he's going to need some time off. He was a winner. And I told everybody in my video I thought he'd come up a little bit left hind, sore out left hind, and he was. We'll get him fixed up and going at some point, but he may need a little time off. Memory and Imagination was flat today. I'm almost certain it was again, you talk about shoeing, it was the surface. Just go back and look at any one of his previous races, how good he was, how strong and eager, content he was to do his work, and then today just felt like it looked like he was in tough today when they were in tough with him. So there's no gimmies in this game. You know, you always have to be on your game and on the top of your game. He was not today, and he suffered because of it. Finished 2nd. Did scope a little bit of mucus, but again, I think mostly the biggest component of today's 2nd place finish, which is nothing to sneeze at, is the biggest component of that was the flip-flops on that deeper track. Militant raced great today. Big mile from him, best race of his life. He raced great today. Very, very impressed with Militant's outing today. Top to bottom, bumper to bumper, the horse raced good. Mounds for All, a little scratch the other night. They said he sounded up, but they still haven't seen all of the stuff come out, so it's looking like he may not be able to race next Thursday. It's a little early to tell, but I would think come Monday morning, if he isn't jogging and getting back on track, it's going to be very difficult to race him on Thursday, I would imagine. We'll see. It's obviously an inopportune time to give him a week or 2 off, but you got to do what's right for the horse. Pickpocket was great the other night, and then we get his blood back today, and his white count was 12. So there was mucus. There was a little tiny trickle of blood, but mucus, and it wasn't allergy mucus. It was sickness mucus. That's a pretty high white count even after a race for a horse. So 12, they're going to work on him this week. I have to believe this horse is going to be much better next Saturday. And we get an extra day to work with. I think it's next Saturday. Man, I'm excited about next week with him. Prince Charmer, unfortunate break. He was a winner. Just snatched defeat out of the jaws of victory the other night, and he'll be fine. He'll be fine this week. Somebody said, why is he not back in? Well, we're taking all the horses down to the Buckeye. Remember, there is a Buckeye Consolation. here in Ohio, right? In Ontario, you have a grassroots. You don't have a grassroots B division, like Constellation. You don't have that. We do have that here. So the points help along the way. If we decide to sell any of these horses and they're on that point standing in the latter part of the summer, it obviously plays into their value. So obviously it makes sense. Prince Charmer, Sweeney, Irresistible Sun, and Gypsy Hill will all be present in Scioto next Friday for the stake races. Pull the shoes, you believe this, cracks her foot, fractures her foot. And literally within 48 hours of being diagnosed, she's bred and in foal. And now 2 weeks, detected a foal, a tactical approach foal. That would be fantastic if that was the case. It was the very best thing that could happen overall, and it came from an unfortunate injury on the track. So pretty happy with what I've seen from. Pretty happy to hear that the filly's in full. Punch the Clock is not yet. She is not in full yet. It's problematic, and I sent out a number of emails or a number of videos to our clients. A lot of opinions from experts, and very helpful actually. I think we can get it done, but we're going to have to use an end run on her, a little backdoor way into getting a foal out of this Walner breeding, and I think we're on the right track. Time will tell. Purple People Eater was great the other night. That was all she was going to get. That was a salty mile, 57 in the mud. Wowzers! A great race from Purple People Eater. Ready for landing a poor race the other day. Trying to figure out what happened. It didn't take long to figure it out. He bled, so he's going to be joining the Lasix program. A week off for him, and then we'll get him right back in and going. Really don't care. A 6. That's all she could muster. She just looked like she was outmatched because she was. She's now Orange 2 filly. She has now joined Megan's Barn also, and will be racing at Yonkers for the next little while. Somebody said, well, can she go back to Mohawk? Sure she can. We want to get her beat up. We can send her back there. You don't want to have her at Yonkers, that's for sure. So, or you don't want to have her at Mohawk, where they went in 54, 55. Orange 2 doesn't always fill. Sometimes they just spill it over and mix it in with the geldings. Just not a great scene for her to be in right now, although obviously she's not a stake filly. We had to give her that opportunity to prove that she wasn't. As of right now, she's not. Same, very reminiscent situation of Five Fish Species last year. So let's get her on a roll. Get some meat on her bones. Get some muscle on her body, and get her working. She's in the right place. Megan's did a great job with Fish last year, and hopefully she can do the same type of thing with Really Don't Care. Sunset Acres Girl qualified terrible, but then trained great this morning. Will she come back for a qualifier on Thursday? That is a possibility. That will be a discussion for Jason and I to have over the next 4 or 5 days. Sweeney made a very, I was going to say uncharacteristic. It's not uncharacteristic. I haven't seen him. He made one break on me. He was not good that night, but he was good his last start. Third, closing in on the end of it. I'm toying with the idea, if we get a flat line on him in Scioto, just to leave him down there with Stacy and Brett. I don't love the idea of shipping him everywhere, but he's not super comfortable on a half-mile track. You can get him around. He raced good. Third beat length, he was closing in. He raced good. I just think there's more under the hood, and I think the best place to see it come to fruition is on a bigger track. So I think a lot of things depend on that. What his week looks like, how he races in Scioto, but I think you may see us leave him down in Scioto this week. Time is on my side. We'll come back in another week. We'll get him back going, get a prep race or 2 into him before the Adios. We have every intention of racing him in the Adios. Elimination's never been in that race. It's his home track, Tim's home track. His brother raced in it, I believe, and the horse has been racing good. And make no mistake, the regional Pennsylvania Sire Stakes right now are very, very tough. That is a deep body of water infested with sharks, and Time is on my side. Will not be outmatched regardless. Victory Blue Chip is in, drew the 8-hole for Wednesday. I think Dave Palone's going to drive him. It's my only race over there, and I got to be back here for Purple People Eater in the first, so Dave Palone will drive Victory Blue Chip. Watch Your Mouth qualified. He'll be in to go this week, I would imagine, or next week. And Widespread Panic will be in next week at the Meadows also, hopefully. So with that, I'm going to let you go. Those are your 3-year-olds. I'm going to check my time, see if I have enough time. If I can get the 2-year-olds in, I will. Time withstanding. I will talk to you all soon. Take care.